Okay, I think we're live. Feels like my monitor's like way too far on my left. Alright, we should be good. Gotta make sure I can see chat. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, what's up, guys? This is our mock draft Monday. I am going to find us a mock draft, hopefully, that nobody is in. Are you guys trying to pre-fire this draft right now? I can start off by answering any questions that you guys might have. And then what I'll do is I'll find a draft and I will throw it. Where did we say we were going? Pick 6 today. Okay. Let me throw this in mock draft. Join up. God, you guys are quick. Wow. You guys are quick on the sticks. JC, where would you draft Timo Meyer this year? It depends on what you think. I'm really high on Timo this year. I think he can get back to his regular shot volume and hit volume and goal scoring totals where he's normally around like 35, 40-ish. So I would probably say if that's the case where you think he's going to get back to his normal totals, he should be a top 40 fantasy player. And I would say anywhere within like the 4th or 5th round. You can get him a lot later probably, but I'm seeing a lot of people kind of reach in that space, which is understandable. And I'm surprised a lot more people are on him. Yeah, you guys are quick, by the way. Good for you guys. I did set it to slow mode so that you guys can't spam, but I guess I could probably take that off. But yeah, so we're going to be picking from pick 6 today. I think just given the fact that the 6 players that are available right off the bat, pick 6 is like going to be probably one of the best spots you can draft in this year. You're in the middle, so you don't get to kind of like chain picks together, whether you were at like the front or the back and get like 2 guys that you like at the turn. But I think in terms of value and in terms of like player available, like you're going to get an elite player regardless. It's likely Kucherov or Pasternak or Draisaitl. I think the first 3 should be, McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews. And then from there, picking one of those other 3 guys is just like sets you up so well, especially if you get like Draisaitl, because I'm finding that like people are kind of not wanting to take him just because he had a little bit of a down year last year, and Kucherov put up 140 points, and Pasta's hit 110 the past couple of years. Hopefully, he can pull off another Matthews trade, if not 3rd this year. Traded Barkov and Sissel in the beginning of the year. That's a really good trade. That Jeff, if you made that trade at the beginning of last year, that probably won you your league or got you in a really, really good spot, because like Barkov's solid, but again, the injury concerns, and Timmy just had a really, really down year, unfortunately. Like, we're back on him this year, obviously, because I still think he has that ceiling. But I love the fact that like you can actively trade 2 of those guys for like a guaranteed 40 goal scorer that is going to put up 180 or 380 shots. Yeah, Skate. It feels pretty quick. I was going to drop it a little bit earlier, but I wanted to see who was like, there's some pretty keen guys in Discord trying to get in it. We might do another one after, depends, but I know somebody wants a 14 team league. Also, this lower third with the projections and stuff might seem a little bit excessive. So I might, drop that and do like a little. We'll see. We'll see when we get into the actual draft. But is 6 my favorite spot this year? I think my favorite spot is honestly in the top 3. If I can get McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, I think they're a tier ahead of Draisaitl, Kucherov, Pasta. So then, like, you can go at the turn, because the turn allows you so much flexibility to go like defenseman in picks 2 and 3, and then you're in such a good spot because you have a forward that's like so excessively better than everyone else. But 6 is good. 6 is good because you're still getting an elite player. Worth reaching a bit on Jenner in a face-off wins bangers league. I wouldn't reach on him. I know he's dual eligible, and that's really, really good. He's probably really highly ranked in your league as well because of the fact that you count face-offs, and then you're in a bangers league. The ADP is 160. I would probably take him in the top 80 if you're going for like a face-off bangers. If it's a points league, then yeah. If it's categories, he's even better. What am I looking for in the third round? To me, it just seems like very dull. Not super big on any of the D around there. Yossi will be likely gone. I'm set on Dowleen round 2 because it's bangers. Kevin, I'll discuss that in the draft, actually. So I'm assuming because this is people drafting from our Discord. Again, guys, if you aren't in our Discord, be sure to check that out. The link should be in the description down below. But I think if you're not like super keen on any of the guys in round 3, I'm going to highlight a couple options for you guys. But I'm assuming because everybody who's drafting is from Discord, D are going to go really quick off the board. And I'm excited because I have a strategy to play around this. What's up, Ham? How are you? If it's categories, he's great. I would pick him anywhere within the top 80. The only thing that really concerns me about him is, number one, he's probably not going to be first-line center. I think they give it to Fantilli this year. And number 2, I think, he's very injury prone, so that's just something to keep an eye on. But when he's healthy, he's an absolute stud in those kind of formats. How would you rank Tage Bradsisla in a points league? Can I move this little icon thing? I can't read half the... I think I would go Stutzlo first, then Brat. It depends on your scoring. If it's strictly points, I go Stutzlo first, Brat, then Tage. If goals are more than assists, I probably put Tage second. Might even be first, just because Timmy doesn't really score a lot. Like, I think that 40-goal season was a bit of an outlier. I still think he can be in the 30-goal range, but I think his assist totals are going to come up, and those power play point totals are going to come up. So I think he's going to be around 100 points. But I'd probably have Timmy at 1 for sure. And then Brad and Tage are interchangeable depending on your league scoring. What do you guys think? Is this lower third kind of like excessive a little bit? Kind of threw this together. If going 7 to 10 men roto and you say you take Makar, would you take Yossi on the back end? Jeff, if you take Makar with your first pick, I think you want to go forward. Or if you have a ton of goalie cats, you could take an elite goalie in that range too. We've seen Igor and Heli kind of fall outside of the top 25 picks, and anywhere within there, I think it's great. But if you're at 7, taking Makar is probably your best bet, simply because there really isn't, no one else is taking Yossi round 1. And I don't know if there's any other defenseman that has the ceiling. Like, Quinn Hughes obviously has the point ceiling. He just really lacks those peripherals. But Makar is clearly the D1, and if you take him at 7, I think the following 2 picks should be forwards, just because you're so shored up on defense. There are a lot of elite offensive defensemen now, like Bouchard, Dahlin. I still think is going to get back to that 70-point range. Yossi, obviously, Quinn Hughes. Hedman even had a really good season last year too. But I think you go forward or forward goalie after that, because you want an elite forward. And we'll see who's kind of in that range that you'd be able to grab. Because I'm picking at 6, so it'll be very similar. I definitely won't be taking Makar at 6. I don't think there's any justification for you to take Makar at 6. I think 7 is a really good spot for him. 8, 9, 10, all the way through 12, obviously. because you basically ensure you're starting off with a D. And a lot of people are going to go forward first and then have to go defenseman with their second pick, so that'll leave a lot of options for you. All right, a minute 30 left to go on this mock. Hopefully everybody is still in here and is active. I wonder if that's Mike in the 1 spot. If that is, that'd be sick. Would you pick up Lausanne or Gudis in Hits Blocks leagues? Yes, Gudis is an absolute stud in Hits Blocks leagues. He's like incredibly good, especially if it's categories. Even points leagues, he's very good. But if it's categories, he could just outright win you like his category in a single week. So I love Gudis. I love Lausanne as well. I don't know if I would necessarily reach on those players, because obviously you still want to fill your other categories. But in terms of like these utility defensemen, if you're in a categories league, they're very, very good to have. So I used my last keeper on options are Sorokin, Hamilton, Freddie, and Uyghur. I would Jackus, how many goalie cats do you have? Is it categories or is it points? And who are your other keepers? All right, 30 seconds to go, guys. Apologies that the intro's been kind of slow. It's tough to find a mock that's empty within like 4 minutes, so we had to wait a little bit, but also wonder if I can go and change the chat settings really quickly. Stream settings. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, slow mode is disabled now, guys. If it gets really crazy, I might try and just because like 30 seconds gives me a little bit of time to like answer questions. How many? 82 concurrent viewers live currently, guys. 10 likes. If you want to leave a like on the stream, that'd be very much appreciated. There is 96 of you now in here. Leave a like if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys. It really helps us out. All right, so it looks like everybody's in here, which is good. Let me just make sure everything is formatted correctly. Let's move me my camera. You guys can see my team. Here we go. Probably don't need. You guys all know who I am, right? Probably don't need my name. You will throw the FP logo up in the left here. I'm gonna try my best to keep on the draft board. Actually, let me do this. Let's do that. So that way you guys can kind of. Not cropped properly. Apologies, guys. All right, that should be good. How can everybody see everything? Are we good now? Solid. How many leagues am I in this year? So I'm in FPPL Division 2. I'm in my $100 buy-in keeper league that I'm constantly playing in every single year. That's like a full-blown face-off wins, PIMs, hits, blocks, bangers, cats, which has been a league that I've been a part of for 3 years now. I just won last year, actually. And then I'm in 2 other keeper leagues. And the content, and the FP Creators League. So how many is that total? Like 5, 6? Cats is wins, save percentage, saves, save percentage. My other goalies are Kochekhov and Askarov. Interesting. I'm assuming it's like a dynasty league then, Jackus, if you have Kochekhov and Askarov. Olabrini, Clayton Keller, or Bedard. All right, we're starting off. I haven't pinned anybody else. Let me lock in here for a second, guys. Okay, so I think the first pick that we have is relatively easy. It's just whoever falls to us. McDavid should be 1, McKinnon 2, Oliver takes Matthews at 3. Pretty consensus so far. Draisaitl at 4 is fine. So I'm going to get David Pastrnak, who I'm really happy about in goal scoring formats. I think I'd probably lean him over Kucherov, usually when goals are worth more. Like, his floor seems to be 110 points. I think him and Lindholm are going to go absolutely off this year, who is somebody that, again, we're going to target to have that stack. So we're going to pick David Pastrnak with our first pick. And right wing is obviously a very scarce position on top of that. Brady Tkachuk at 7, I think is fine. I think I would have rather Makar or Rantanen. Maybe a Tkachuk or a Kaprizov. Don't think I take Jack Hughes that early. Makar at 8 is fine. Miller, it's a good pick. I don't know if I'd take Miller in the first round. I think he's going to be a little bit closer to a point a game. Yeah, Justin, we decided to do mock draft tonight simply because I have 2 back-to-back fantasy football drafts tomorrow. So I got to kind of prep for that. Yeah. Backy, we'll get you in the next one, hopefully. It's not Dynasty. You just get to keep 2 rookies. Okay, sick. Yeah, I'd probably go Sorokin. Or Dougie. Dougie's another really good option. He just needs to stay healthy. All right, Makar, JT Miller, Rantanen, Matty Tkachuk's great at 11. In this spot, 12-13, I'm probably going Kaprizov, Jack Hughes. What are we looking at for a pick 2 here? Let's go to defenseman. I like Quinn Hughes. I like Evan Bouchard. I like Roman Josi. I'd probably go Josi first. But I'm assuming a lot of D are going to go now. So if we get one of those 3, I'll be very happy. And I think that's a very good start to the draft. William Nylander and Artemi Panarin are also there. Panarin's a little bit risky for me this season. Elias Pettersson's there as well. Braden Point. These are all really good second-round picks. Very, very safe. Jason Robertson. Love Marner, Bedard. Wyatt. Timmy. All right, so there goes Josi. Here comes the run on defenseman. So pretty typical start with your first 6. Brady at 7. Makar. Josi, Bouchard, Nylander. Steven has Brady. So I wonder if he goes a winger here. Okay, so he takes... Okay, so this is what I thought was going to happen. So if you're in the situation where those 3 defensemen are kind of off the board, Hedman's good. Dahlin's really good as well. I don't know if I take them necessarily with my second pick, but I know D are going to go fast. I want to make sure I get at least 1 elite defenseman, and then we might just punt. So I think I'm going Dahlin. Dahlin's probably my D4. Oh, yeah. ADP's probably really shaking things up. Let's sort by that, actually. Igor, yeah. Okay, so right now we have 2 really, really good floor players, which is you always want in the first couple rounds. You want safe picks. Mitch, I'm in a 20-team Cats league. Jesus. If I get pick 7 or later, should I go D forward? Cats are goals, assists, plus minus, pims, hat tricks. You count hat tricks? I'm so sorry for your league, man. And plus minus. God, that's pretty fraudulent, to be honest with you. If you get pick 7 or later, if it's a redraft, I would take Makar and then go forward. That's what I would do. Ursa, thank you so much. Appreciate the love. All right, so what did we have here? So we went Petty, Forsberg, Igor, J-Rob. I think that's great. Patty's is an insane stat. Yeah. Guys, 112 concurrent viewers right now. If you want to leave a like on the stream, that definitely helps us out. We only have 23 likes so far, so please just click that like button. It takes 2 seconds. Really helps out the channel. Deep Nuge or Hints in a Cats league? What are your Cats? Probably Hints. Pick Nylander, he's really good. Oh, trust me, you don't have to convince me to take Willie. Love the Mitch Marner pick there from Mike. Starting off McDavid and Marner gets you just a ton of points. A lot of goalies available in this range. Ellie. Point. That's who I wanted. And then Adam Fox. Okay, so we have some pretty safe players right now. I think what I want to do... Victor Hedman's right there. I think I'm going to take him. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to take Hedman just because he's available at 30. I now have two very solidified defensemen. Hedman's a little bit riskier, obviously, but there was a pretty run on a forward, which you'll see a lot of the time, like in these drafts, especially if we go to the draft board. So Oliver going Matthews into Igor Helly is a crazy strat. Where do I like Svech this year? Probably like round 5, 6. Past the Cooch. I think it passed over Cooch. I think it depends on the scoring format. Damn, I was going to try and pair Hedman with Gensel. Nathaniel snagged him, though. Kyle Connor. Yeah, these are all pretty typical third-round picks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 defensemen off the board in the first 3 rounds is crazy, but I'm in a really good spot now to just continue to go forward. There's also some really good goaltenders that are still available, like Vasilevsky's there. Demko, obviously, we don't know with the injury, so I'm probably off of him as of right now. Swayman, Saros, Otter. Like, Aho is another really, really safe pick here. I know you guys are going to take all of the people that I just mentioned, but that's okay. I'm just pinning guys that I like. Barkov. So I feel really comfortable with where I'm at right now because I have 2 very good defensemen. You'd be shocked if Svech lasts rounds 4 or 5. It depends on your league settings, Plup. If you count hits, he's obviously probably going to go a little bit higher. But again, like, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable taking him in the first 3 rounds simply because of his injury history. Timmy at 37 is great. Dobson at 36, like, I know D are going quick, but that's really early for him. He's still a really good defenseman. I still really like that pick, but super early. Chris Kreider, ADP 30. That's abysmal. How many shots did he have last year? 250? Yeah, he's... it's because he scored 40. They have him bumped so high. Josh Morrissey. I'm probably looking at him now. See, Michael was in a really interesting spot here because he was almost forced to take a defenseman. I don't think Morrissey's bad as your D1. I wouldn't say it's like anything to get excited over. But there's now 4 teams that don't have a defenseman yet. So it's likely Zach, Oliver, Scott, Mike are all going to take a D. Let's see what Nathaniel does. Ovi. Ovi round 4, I guess. I think there's better options. Miro Heiskanen. Interesting. That's super early for Heis. I'm going to move over. I'm not centered in my camera. It's super early for Heiskanen. Like, this is like a round 7 or 8 pick for me. Like, all the defensemen that are available now. Yeah, maybe. All right. So we have 3 very safe players, more or less. I want to start picking guys with upside. And I'm taking Connor Bedard. This will probably be the last year you'll ever be able to get Bedard outside the top 25. This is what I meant earlier. I don't like the 3rd round, especially for my league. My main highlight ADP are Tage, Ovi, or maybe Heli Saros. If Bedard's available, I love Bedard. Aho should be gone as well, too. Svech is decent here. Stammer, I'm not too sure about. Wyatt Johnson's a good pick in this range if you want more of like an upside play. Like Mika Zibanejad is there. Jesper Bratt, Jack Eichel. I like all of those guys I just missed. Yeah, Plup. I don't know if I'd ever take Kreider within the first 5 rounds. Scott stole my boy Timo Meier. Damn. So this is the beauty about picking at 1. You get McDavid, you can get a really good second round player, regardless of who it is, whether it's Marner, whether it's Gensel, Tage, Crosby, even Point should have been gone a lot sooner. And then you can pair him with Zach Hyman. And now he goes Aho. So Mike doesn't have a defenseman currently. If Svech is round 4 pick, why would Ovi not be? Because Ovi only had 65 points last year, and there was a time during the season where he wasn't scoring either. Like, he was well below a point a game. And I don't know if that's the age curve catching up to him. I don't know if that's the fact that like Washington was just really bad. But I'm taking Svech over Ovi. It's close because Ovi hits and shoots so much. But I think if Svech is healthy, he will be a point-a-game player and get you like 35 goals. Where I think there's more risk now with Ovi is basically what I'm trying to get at. Okay. So what do we do here? Where we pick 54. I mean, Jeremy Swayman is there. If I'm in like a legit league, I'm probably not taking him. We're counting wins. I'm just going to go ahead and grab... I think the Devils are going to be a top 5 team next year. Give me Jacob Markstrom. I think that Devils team is going to be disgusting. So give me Jacob Markstrom as my first goalie off the board, which I think, round 5 is okay if you're still in that kind of like A-tier range. There were definitely really good players available, but I wanted to at least solidify myself with one good goaltender. Skinner would have also been another good pick. Georgiev, same thing. I think I like Markstrom's save percentage and goals against average stats a little bit more than either of those two goalies. There's times where Skinner will just let in like 4 goals in a game and he might screw you for a week. And Markstrom's going to get a ton of volume. So Swayman goes. Again, I'm not taking Swayman in that position simply because he doesn't have a contract right now. So if you guys are drafting as much upside as that guy has, I'm not taking him. So let's see. This has to be Mike because he took Charlie McAvoy before Moritz Seider, and that's just something I would never do. So I can almost guarantee you this is Mike. Serg is a great pick there to pair with Morrissey. I think, that's pretty good. Let's look at some other teams. So Scott's completely punted defenseman. Same with Oliver. Zach finally grabbed his D1. Why no Swayman in a legit league? He's not signed right now, Vincent. He's still RFA'd. So if he's asking for, if it's true that he's asking for $10 million and he holds out, he might not start the season. So if he falls later in drafts, I think it's a great pick. Rod should also probably lean on his top players after their loss. Yeah, Plup, and I think their roster's a little bit thinned out now, especially with the Jesper Fast's injury, where he's out for the season now after he had neck surgery. In my league last year, Ovi was still ranked top 15 player due to his hits and shots. Yeah, because he completely turned his season around, double tap. Like, he still finished with, like, what was it, like 30, 35 goals? Like, he went on an absolute tear at the second half of the season. What I'm worried about was which Ovi are we seeing next year? Is it the first half or is it the second half? So for me, like, that's just a little bit of risk. Damn, Saros went the pick before, too. That would have been great. Georgiev, again, solid. He scares me a little bit more than any of the other goalies available here. I would have went Skinner before him, absolutely. So I'm really happy that I'm in this spot. I'm going to take Matt Boldy. I think he actually has 40-40 goal assist upside, being an 80-point player. Can be a point per game. I was going to take Wyatt, but, Wyatt and Boldy are roughly the same in terms of upside. But hopefully Boldy ends up playing the entire year with Kaprizov and he goes absolutely nuclear. I love where I'm getting him in drafts this year. It's probably like his ADP is obviously a little bit lower, but I like him a lot more just because of the goal upside. Like, he's a consistent 35 goal scorer. Will Dougie Hamilton get power play 1? Your guess is as good as mine. Drafting Landeskog with the last pick, I think he probably goes before that. Somebody will probably reach on him, but I think he's a really sneaky pick in later rounds. You really should have taken Zib there. Where? Zib before Markstrom? Yeah, I have Bedard. Again, that's probably a good pick. You can take Zib there. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure I got at least one goaltender, one elite goaltender. Zib's fine. Jeek is that's very early for Jeek, in my opinion. You probably could have waited around to get him. All the defensemen are going too, which is fine. So when people start to forget about defensemen, let's see. This is Mike. Mike is going to take Cole Caulfield. Yeah, I was thinking him, or it was the GOAT, Mr. Tippett. Both Ovi and Spatch are risk. One big injury risk, the other is regression risk. It means just gamble what you want. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. And that's why I was like, it doesn't, like, it's a bit of a coin flip. Boldy, great value there, hoping he stays in line 1. Yeah, Brian, that's, he was close to a point a game in the last 20. Was playing over 19 minutes average time on ice. Like, I'm so on him again this year. Brad Marchand, John Carlson, Sorokin. Let's take a peek at defensemen. EK, Babes, Theodore, Jake. Barzell goes, that's fine. Bedard or Gensel. I think Gensel's probably safer. So I'd probably go him. So I want some goal scoring upside. I think it's a little bit early, but I'm fine with taking Tippett in this range. So I'm going to go Owen Tippett. Left wing, right wing eligible. High shot volume. Could score another 35 goals. High hit volume as well. I'm good with that pick. Faber, Raymond. It's probably a little early for me for Raymond at 80. I think there's just better options available. Hintz is kind of sneaky if he goes back to being his 37 goal self. Just the low shot volume I'm not a fan of. What's my projection for Bedard this year? He should be around a point a game. If he stays healthy, I think he's getting over 35 goals. Probably over 260, 70 shots. Anywhere within that range. Bedard or Kempe? If you count hits, probably Kempe. Where do you take Kyra in a 12-team standard points league? As late as you can. He falls a lot. Like, you can definitely get him later on. I couldn't tell you an exact round. Let's go back to the draft board. Okay, Stuart Skinner just went. That's really good value. You're still getting like an A-tier goalie at that range. Is going to win a ton of games in Edmonton this year. Adrian still needs a goalie. Hasn't taken one yet. He's gone 3 defensemen. Everyone's taking the D that I like, which is fine. Because, again, we're very solid at the top here. Darlene Hedman. Mike goes John Carlson there for his second defenseman. Interesting. He still should be the power play 1 defenseman, so I think that's a good pick. Into Sorokin is solid. Again, I probably take Skinner there. Sorokin scares me a little bit because he did lose a ton of volume to Varlamov. Draft Jimmy Stu. Nick, where did he go? Beginning of the 4th round. Which is great. Like, I'm totally good with taking him there. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is very interesting. So Scott still doesn't have a defenseman. Nathaniel doesn't have a goalie. Would you say the top 3 D picks are Makar D1, Yossi D2, Dahlin D3? I think my D3 is Bouchard, Mitch. I'm probably taking Bouchard before Dahlin and Quinn Hughes. Lucas Raymond. Dude, it's so funny to me. Once I stop showing my queue, you guys just don't know who to take. Like, I'm probably not getting... I don't like Marchessault there. I don't like Jeff Skinner there. Eric Carlson. Okay, so if this is my draft in real life, and this is the situation that I'm currently in, I'm taking Thatcher Demko. Is there a possibility that he's out for the year? Sure. Is there a possibility that he's out long term? Sure. But the fact that I'm getting him at pick 91, and if he does come back at any point in the season, should be like a top 7, top 10 goaltender. It's just too much value for me to pass up. So I'm completely fine taking the risk on that at this point, if this was an actual draft for me. Gustav Forsling, dude, what? Patrick Kane. Shea Theodore. Okay, a lot of D are going. A lot of defensemen are going. My number 3 is Bush 2, then Hughes, then Dahlin. I think so. In a standard league, I would say Hughes first, then Dahlin. Just because the point upside. Ferris falling so low is crazy. I think it's because his point total really dropped. Mike Matheson. Odd. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to look to see, is there anybody that is going to get me a ton of value? Because so many people are hammering these like low-end D, or like these D3, D4, there's going to be blocks where you'll see really good forwards become available. Besser has fallen too far, IMO. It's his first time really having a good goal scoring year, and he's typically not a real high volume shooter, speaking of which he just went. So I'm okay with that. So I think Dylan Larkin should be completely gone by now. The problem with... It's not really a problem, but he is a little bit, you know, on the injury prone side. But he's typically around a pointer game, high shot volume, 30 plus goals. It's between him or Hintz, and I think I'm going Larkin here, simply because of the fact that his goal scoring and his shot volume. It's really the shot volume. Hintz probably has a similar kind of goal upside, but it's the shot volume for me. Tavares was also there, but again, covered around that 60-point mark, wasn't close to being a point a game. Shoots a ton and hits a ton, which is great. But I really like the value that I'm getting with Larkin there. Hintz went, yeah, that's fine. There's one other player that I have in pin that I really want to take with my next pick. I wonder if he falls to me. Just kind of scrolling through at this point. Is there anybody else that I think shouldn't be here that, for whatever reason, is? I like Mr. Byfield this year. Pavel Buchnevich is falling a lot. We love Peterka. Let's go to the draft board. So we're through 8 rounds. Let's look at Mike's team. McAvoy into Caulfield, Carlson, Uri Slavkovsky, round 8 is great. He's realistically, he probably goes a lot sooner. Petro's not bad. The problem I have with Petro is the fact that he doesn't get power play 1 time. Over, under, Allmark 30 wins. I'm going to say under. Drew Doughty was a good pick there as well. So after taking 4 elite players, Mike has then gone with 3D in his last 5 rounds. All power play 1 defenseman. Scott, after going double goalie, then goes double defenseman. Oliver, after going double goalie early on, has just hammered forwards. Zach has Vasi. Really solid team. Kane's a good pick there. I love Heischer there as well. I really like the Ekblad pick, actually. Brent Burns, we'll see. We'll see if he's power play one still. Cooch, Petty, Fox. So D are just like flying off the board, which is what we thought. But I'm finding now that I'm getting players that shouldn't be available at where I'm at. Like round 9, Dylan Larkin is ridiculous. He probably should have went before Tippett, in all honesty. Nylander or Forsberg? I think Nylander is much safer, Torty, so I probably lean him. There's the Gabe pick. Paterka went. Which is fine. Like, I think round 10 Gabe, on the off chance that he does play like 20 games. You've got like, what, 5 rounds left? Okay. So where are we at? He fell. I'm so happy I got to him. Give me Drake Batherson. Gimme. I'll take 30 goals, 200 shots, 100 hits. Probably scores a little bit under that, to be honest with you. Like, he's probably in the 25-ish, 25 to 30 range. But I love the shot volume and the hit volume, and I think Ottawa's going to be a lot better this year on the power play. So give me everything to do with that guy. There's still some solid D available, too. I'm not going to pin any of them, so you guys can't take them from me. Can Forsberg get 90 points with Stammer and Marsh? So I think he can get 90 points. I was looking this up, and we'll probably talk about this in a video at some point. There's over the last 10 seasons, there's only been 3 teams that have had 3 40-goal scorers, 2 of which are from Tampa. And the third team was Calgary when Lindholm, Goudreau, rest in peace, by the way, and Matthew Tkachuk all had them. Would you take a chance on Norris? Yes. Just because you can get him so late. You can get him so late in drafts, and he's scored 30 goals more or less when he's healthy. And the rumor coming out of camp right now is the fact that he's fully healthy. Which, again, after having both his shoulders really just put him back. Like, he's just been labeled as injury prone, so that's why he's going so late in drafts. But I would take a chance on him if you can get him late. I think Don mentioned him. Lindholm, that's Mike again, shocker. Brian Rust. Did he need a right winger? He probably needed a right winger. Is Hyman dual eligible? Let's take a look at Mike's team. Hyman's dual eligible. Caulfield is. Marner's not. Oh, Slav wasn't. So he probably wanted a right winger. I probably would have taken Nietzsche's before Rust, though. I just want nothing to do with Pittsburgh, to be honest with you. Still some good goalies available. So Mike will eat those up in the next couple of rounds because he usually punts goalies. A lot of D have gone. Zook. It's pretty good. He's normally has a pretty good point total. So what I'm looking for right now is our team is more or less filled out except for the 2 defensive spots. Everybody has basically just now stopped taking defensemen outside of him just taking Devin Taves. But I'm going to go Vince Dunn, who let's pull up his numbers actually. So he's somebody I'm actually looking to target late, and I think could really be a steal ADP wise. He should be power play 1. There is a little bit of there's a little bit of concern with Montour being power play 1. But I mean, like, he's going to be a 60-plus point defenseman with, double-digit goals. The shot volume's not great, but I think the peripherals kind of make up for it. And he had 16 power play points, which I'm like last season, which I'm pretty sure was like probably more than what McAvoy have. How many did McAvoy have? Their power play was not good last year, from what I remember. Yeah, only 13 power play points. The only concern here is that, you know, is he the power play 1 defenseman, or is it Montour? But again, I'm fine with taking that risk, just because there's not a lot of really good D1 available right now, if any. So I'm good with taking that risk. And it's possible they could have both of them on power play 1. Like, Seattle really isn't that deep offensively. And we've seen that happen a couple times too. Like, I'm pretty sure Ottawa ran Chychrun and Shabbat on a power play last year, but I'm pretty sure it was their power play 2. Cam York, if you think he's the power play 1 defenseman, I think it's Drysdale. Every time Drysdale's been in the lineup since they acquired him, he's been the power play 1D. And the only reason why I think York got so much time PP1 last year was the fact that Drysdale was injured. You're still taking a power play 1 defenseman on by far the worst power play in the league. You think with the better D-man in Seattle, Decord will be even better? Decord's interesting. I don't know if he's actually going to be... Like, I think him and Grubauer will probably just split again. And so, I think at this point in the draft, I'm looking for value. I know I still need a D spot, but I'm going to go Quinton Byfield. I think at pick 139, the upside that this guy has, and that he, you know, could potentially just be the first line center in LA next year. There's still a couple defensemen that I can take. But I think him being available at that point is a solid pick. I'm excited for the upside. I'm excited to see him. How many goalies do you recommend leaving the draft with? 2, 3, 4. Dr. Doom, it depends on what goalies you have. I think if you get 2 really safe goalies, that's fine. So if you get like a high volume starter, like a Markstrom, Georgiev, somebody along that line, and then you pair him, or you do what Mike just did, where he's basically doing the 1-team draft strategy, where he went Freddie into Kochetkov. That kind of, at that point, I would want a third goalie. Hold on, let me make my pick here. Okay. Defenseman, who do we got? I'm going to go Rasmus Anderson. Should be power play 1. Should be getting you a ton of blocks. He's normally pretty safe with his floor. It's either him or Shabbat. Do I want Shabbat or do I want him? Give me Anderson. I'm fine with that. Shabbat's usually pretty good. But I think, you know, the concern always for me with Shabbat is whether or not he's healthy. Does Annunen take the job from Georgiev? I don't know how I feel about Annunen, but I don't trust Georgiev at all. Stolarz there is a really good pick. Korpisalo there is a really good pick. I'm surprised Mike didn't go Corpy there. Falk is sneaky if Krug is out for the season, or maybe Broberg Prunovich gets power play 1. Yeah, I like Don's usually normally really high on Falk just because of his baseline peripherals. If Krug is out, then I like him. We like Broberg. We like Prunovich. Again, Broberg and Prunovich are obviously very high risk, high reward, just because we don't know exactly what they are. Yeah, I'm mentally taking notes of some players here. Sorry, guys. Got the Toronto stack. Yeah, that's sick then, double tap. Again, you probably want a third goalie at that point, because it's very possible that Wall could get injured and then you have Stolars, and we don't exactly know if Stolars is a legit starting center, or starting goaltender or not. So it's risky. Uyghur versus Anderson on power play 1, hard to choose. Yeah, typically it has been Rasmus Anderson. I know last year they swapped around a little bit. Again, he's got a pretty safe floor because of his block totals. And he's got pretty good shot volume, I think, too. $39 points, 160 shots every year, 140 plus blocks. His power play totals were really bad last year, actually. So maybe we go back and review that and look at the situation and be like, oh, maybe we should have went Shabbat. It's possible. I was also looking at Heronic, but again, he's kind of just like a hit or miss. Been doing stacks for 2 years and it's been great. Yeah, the one team goalie strat's very solid. Mike made a video on it a couple years ago. Any teams you are staying away from with drafting the players? Pittsburgh. Want nothing to do with Pittsburgh. So unfortunately, someone took my player. I think I'm good with taking Shabbat here. I was also thinking Bo and Byram, but Byram's basically behind Darlene for power play 1. And which power play do I think is going to be better, Ottawa or Buffalo? They're both pretty injury prone, but at least with Shabbat, I know that when he's healthy, he has a solid shot volume. It's just, is he going to be healthy? So what I've done up until this point is you've seen me take 2 really safe defensemen early on. And then now I'm going with, they could be high upside defensemen based off where they're going in the draft. Like Vince Dunn's a good example. He'd be a 60-point D. Getting him in round 11 is fine. Obviously, there's some risk there. Rasmus Anderson could be the D1, but again, has a really, really high floor with his block and shot volume. Could he be the power play 2 defenseman? Sure. Could Uyghur be power play 1? Yes. So obviously, there's some risk there. Shabbat, likely the power play 2 defenseman. Could he be power play 1? Maybe. Maybe they put him back on power play 1. Is there some risk there with his injury? Yes. So because I've gone safe with Darlene and Hedman, I'm now punting these defensemen that, if there's an injury, if, there's a little bit of risk or concern, which is why they're falling so deep in the drafts, they could all be like the D1 on their team. Montour typically is a little bit of a health concern as well, which is why I really liked Vince Dunn there. Ghost Bear is a really good pick. So what I've done is I've just taken all these extra defensemen at the end that nobody seems to really like, and I'm just going to essentially sit on one of them and hope that I hit at least on one of them, because D just went so quick, and I was able to get a lot of the value for my team in these middle rounds, like Larkin round 9, Batherson round 10, Byfield round 12. I have 2 very, very safe goalies. I probably need to take a goalie on the off chance that Demko doesn't end up playing. But we're gonna wait on that. Let me get Arturi Lehkonen. Again, really good value there. Injury plagued a little bit, but if he's healthy and he plays with McKinnon, that'll be a really, really good pick. Let's see what else we have here. We have our last pick. We probably need to take a goalie, and he probably needs to be a starter. But do I want to take one is the question. Him? There's also him. He could be interesting. He's probably the best option. Anderson over Shabbat, 10 out of 10 times. I took them both. Any teams? Yeah, to answer that one. Bob is due for a junk season. Buy low on Knight. Knight is a very good pick. Especially if you have Bob too, and you pair the two of them, because you can get Knight really late. I was on Knight last year. I thought that was the year, and then all of a sudden Anthony Stolarz is just suddenly like an elite goaltender. And the same thing could happen again this year. If he plays like 20 games and Florida's just sick, like that's really good value in the draft. I know drafting rookies is not the best, but Michkov worth it over Celebrini? Yes. I'm taking Michkov as the first. If I'm taking a rookie this year, it's Mate Michkov, who I actually pinned and then somebody grabbed, unfortunately, because I actually think he could score. I actually think he could score 30 goals right off the bat. And Philly loves him enough to where I think Briere would get pissed if Tortorella doesn't put him in the top 6, because they've done everything up until this point to make sure that he gets onto the team. So there's no reason to believe that he won't play in the top 6, if that makes sense. Vander Kane's a good late pick. So if this is my league, with the last pick of my draft, I'm taking Josh Norris. Lane Hudson's a good D spot. I love that pick. That's so late for him too. Need to work on pinning that guy for sure. He could be sick. So Montreal's a pretty decent power play as well. So if this is my league, I'm going Josh Norris with this pick. I'm taking Demko, throwing him on IR, picking up one of the goalies that I had pinned, whether it's Lindgren, whether it's Wolf, Carl Vermelka, Ingram, Jari's even there too, who I feel like should have been drafted. But we're treating this as if it was a league I was in, and I think Norris has a lot of upside with the last pick somebody mentioned, so I'm going to go Norris. So then let's look at teams, and then we'll get into another draft. We can do like a 14-teamer. Michkov has a better supporting cast. Yeah, for sure. Love taking a chance on Cutter Gauthier. Love that too, yeah. Just I'm not sure how I feel about Edmonton. Like, there's a lot of sleepers I like on Edmonton, like Leo Carlson. But again, he's more of a setup guy. So let's go through the draft here. Let's look at Mike's team. So Mike decided that he was going to go McDavid into Marner. That's basically 200-point players there. Zach Hyman to pair with McDavid is insane. Sebastian Aho is such a safe pick. He should have been gone well before there. Like, I'm probably taking Aho way before, like, over Reinhardt. Not over Point, but they're close. I'd probably take Aho over Tage as well. He's so safe. But Mike gets Aho, which is great. Charlie McAvoy's your D1. I'm not a huge fan of. I know Mike loves him, though, because of the peripheral stats. 47 points in 74 games. My argument is that if you're going for a player with peripheral stats, yes, McAvoy's the power play 1 defenseman there, but he's been under 20 power play points the past 2 seasons. I would much rather go Moritz Seider. Even though I lack some of the power play points, it's more or less the same point total. He's played every single game in his entire career in the National Hockey League. He's very safe. 42 points. Can McAvoy outscore him production-wise? Absolutely. Same shot volume, roughly. But then he gets you another like 20 to 30, 40 even blocks and hits. And I don't think, McAvoy is the best when it comes to power play points, obviously. But again, as your D1, that's not a bad pick. I'm not trying to rip on Mike. His team's sick. Caulfield's a really good pick. Somebody that Mike's targeting, somebody that I'm trying to target. I'm not getting to a lot of him, unfortunately. I'm still probably taking Boldy before him. John Carlson, again, power play 1D. Washington, could be good. Slav, love this pick. Probably my favorite pick in this round. I went Demko because of the value, but probably the best pick in that round. Could be in for a really monster season. Very good peripherals. Drew Doughty, again, power play 1 defenseman. So Mike has gone elite forwards into taking all power play 1 defensemen, into taking Lindholm. Brian Rust, I still don't know. You'd have to ask Mike. And then the 1-team goalie strat, and he probably needs another goalie here. Nichushkin, high risk, high reward pick. Might not even play this year. Falk is very solid. A little early for Caulfield IMO, but when you're at the bottom end, yeah, I agree, Noah. It's probably a little bit early in round 6, but I think with the shot and goal upside, he could be very good. I think he can score 40. And so you're drafting him in that spot, assuming that's what he's going to be for you. Steven, you want me to take a look at your team? Okay. Brady at 7. Again, I probably prefer McCarr, but then you went Quinn Hughes here, which I think is a good kind of makeup pick. I don't know how I feel about Crosby. I know he's Crosby, and he's usually very good on like a point of game basis. But I don't think I'm looking to draft him there. Again, I'm probably taking Aho. Otter is very solid round 4. I probably take Otter. Vasi's maybe a little bit safer. But if you think Dallas is going to win more, which they probably do, Otter's fine. It's just the goals against save percentage is a little bit iffy sometimes. Jesper Bratt is very good because you need a winger here. So I think that's fine. Again, he's a point-of-game player, and if he plays with Jack Hughes, he's going to be lights out again. Wyatt Johnson's a really good pick in that round. I was deciding between him and Boldy. You have dual eligible players already with Brady, so that's fine. Wyatt is also dual eligible, center right wing. Faber's a good pick if you're looking for another defenseman. EK is, again, a solid pick. He's going to be a power play 1 defenseman again. I probably take Jake Sanderson before him. I think there's a little bit more upside for Sanderson. Laugh is a great pick there. I'm taking Larkin or Rupe before, but again, if you're thinking you have too many centers, that's fine. Robert Thomas was a great pick. It's him, Kyrou. I really liked Batherson there as well. You could argue Lindholm. Ghost, again, is solid. Should be a power play 1 defenseman in Carolina. Your D drafting was pretty solid. I wanted to go Vince Dunn, though. Binner, I don't like St. Louis at all, but he's a starting goaltender. Montembeault, solid. I love the Mishkov pick. Your team's solid. I don't like the Beniers pick. I don't like the Vetrano pick. UPL versus Olmark. Olmark's going to start a lot more, so probably him. Although UPL had some pretty good number. How many starts did he have last year? I just completely butchered his name. It's Uko. 54 starts is solid with a 9-10. They also signed Reimer, so I don't know if Levi's going to, or Reimer going to take a ton of volume. Check 5th? Okay, we'll check 5 and then 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go draft 4. We're going to do another draft after this, guys. We'll do a 14. Cooch. Can't go wrong with the Cooch pick. Patty is a great pick. Love that. I'm probably taking him before Forsberg, J-Rob, Marner. Yeah, I like Petty there. Fox, I don't love, but he's a 70, 75 point defenseman, and he gets you a ton of power play points, so I'm actually okay with that considering all of the defensemen that were already off the board. And if you wait, you probably don't get to him. Like, you're picking between, like, Heiskanen, McAvoy, Seider, Sergachev. So if you need to grab a D, that's fine. I don't like the Kreider pick at all. I'm going Fetch and Timo over Kreider, like, probably 10 out of 10 times. Saros is a great pick there. I was thinking goalie as well. You've solidified yourself early on at every position, which is good. Konechny's a solid pick. I'm taking Boldy before him. Probably. Yeah. For Hagee, he was really good there. I was looking at him, and then you snagged him before me. Forsling, I don't love. But again, it's whether or not you think Ekblad can maintain and like can stay healthy. Because I think if he is healthy, then he's the power play 1D. But if not, then Forsling is probably your next best bet. I don't love Hannafin at all. I probably want somebody with more upside there. You could have gone Forsling into Ekblad and just saved yourself, which is probably what I would have done. You can also take Dylan Larkin there, which would have been a great pick, or Rupe Hintz, which would have been a great pick. But see, this is what I mean. Like in the middle rounds here, because so many D go first, you should not be handcuffing yourself to mediocre defensemen, which is what I tried to avoid. I was like, okay, I have 2D, rounds 2, 3. They're both solid. Let me punt defensemen until beyond round 10 and fill out the rest of my team. Kyrie's great there. Devin Taves is solid. Gustafson, good. Hurdle, yeah. Nurse, I don't like Nurse. Why are you drafting Darnell Nurse if it's just for peripherals when there's guys that are available that still have upside? Like Falk is another good shout. Trevor Moore could be sneaky, but again, I think there's better upside players there. Like Dylan Guenther would have been a great pick. Ehlers is still there. And then Lawson Krause. It seems like you were drafting based off of like categories. Okay, let's do one more draft, guys. Let's do one more. We're going to do a 14 team. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post it in the live chat here. All I ask is if you were in a draft, if you were in this draft, please don't join the next draft. That's all I'm asking. Actually, do we want to do a 14 or do we want to do a 12? I think we might do a 12. It's because there's a 12 that's available. Although I don't typically do a lot of 14s. There's just, the problem is that I don't know if you guys are trying to snipe the drafts. I can see so many people moving back. Like, you guys are trying to snipe these drafts, which is insane. which is actually insane. Okay, let me see if I can find one here. Maybe we go to ESPN. So I don't think we've done one yet. $14 is fun. Okay, let's do 14. Let me find one. Again, if you guys all right, link is in the channel or in the chat right there. God, you guys are quick. Again, guys, just please, if you were in the last draft, let other people try and join this. $14 will be fun. I wish, like, my biggest issue with Yahoo is that I can't change the draft settings, and I can't change, like, the format. Hey, Maestro, that's what we're here for, man. The more practice, the better. Which is why, again, like, we go back, like, you know, I could feel completely different about a player in 2 weeks. Like, Shabbat's a good example. If rumor comes out of camp that Shabbat is the power play 1D this year, I feel a lot better about taking him in drafts. If I learn that, you know, Brandon Montour is going to be the power play 1D in Seattle, it's like I'm probably not targeting Vince Dunn there. Please keep the Q block because it's more challenging for people and we can learn instead of just stealing your picks. Yeah, I'll do my best to do that. I always keep, like, Mike and I like to kind of cover up our queue with the top top part, like me, like our camera. Join our competitive leagues. Yes, that's a good shout. So, guys, if you go to fantasypuck.net, we're going to do that right now. We're going to go fantasypuck.net. Where's my window capture? Look, there's me. You can join FPPL. And FPPL, this is our Patreon. And FPPL is our very competitive, very interactive fantasy hockey leagues that we offer for you to sign up for. One-time payment. You can go over to FPPL here. You can learn about. So this year we're doing 12-team head-to-head points, Yahoo. You will be placed in a division. Those of you that played last year, you're going to be placed in another corresponding division. Some of you have already been placed and been informed as to where you'll be. But you get to compete and work your way up this ladder format that we've developed to get to FPPL Division 1. Now, promotion and relegation is going to be based off of, again, numbers. So once we get all our numbers set and everything, we can determine how many people in each division are being promoted and relegated based off of where we finish. It will be a point system, which I will see if I can bring up here. Playoffs, promotion, relegation, future scoring. So total points for, this is essentially what we're doing to determine the relegation. So if you come first in your season, you get 12 points. If you win your league in playoffs, you get promoted. Second, you get 7. And then so we'll take, whether it's the top 2 or the top 3, we will take these players and either promote them or relegate them based off of the total amount of points where you finish in the regular season and where you finish in playoffs. So that way, if you have a really good regular season and you botch it in playoffs, there's a chance that you might not get promoted. But you could also have a really underwhelming regular season and then do really well in playoffs. So again, all this is available on fantasypuck.net. All you got to do is go to FPPL, how to join, fill out our registration form, sign up for our Patreon, join our Discord, and then draft day will be given to you at some point. Chris, I've seen you in so many drafts, man, that I just don't like. You can join any mocks at any point. Like, we'll do mocks offline and stuff too as well, which is another reason why you guys should be in Discord. Yeah, so Speedo, it's a one-time sign up. You confirm that you've signed up. I don't want to bring up Patreon because it brings up the management aspect of Patreon. So one-time sign up. What's the buy-in for these leagues? Just click our link in the description. Brings you fantasypuck.net. Brings you to Patreon. I want to see if I can show you guys. I can show all of our tiers. Let me bring that up. Okay. So we have our Fantasy Puck Patreon link, which is $7.99 Canadian. Again, one-time access. You can sign up, join a league. We do offer other Patreon tiers as well, which is our All-Star tier, which gives you access to things like projections for both goalies and skaters. Also gives you access to FPPL, just so you guys are aware if you sign up at a higher tier. Okay, we are live on the draft. Somebody did leave. Trade analyzer, player cards, all that good stuff. So be sure to check that out if you guys haven't already. Let's get into the draft. Okay, so unfortunately we do have an auto drafter, but it's a 14-team league, so we should be good here. McDavid first overall, not a big deal. Should easily be first overall all the time. McKinnon at 2 is the consensus 2. Matthews at 3. We're going to get Kucher past at 4, and then the ladder goes at 5. Draisaitl probably in the top 6 as well. Past at 4 is fine. Yeah, my bad, Noah. Cooch at 6, Drysdale 7 or 5. This is pretty easy. Randon at 7. Again, in a 14 team league especially, I'm going Makar there. Who else we have? Panarin. Do I personally like Draisaitl or Pasta at 4? I think personally I want to go Draisaitl. He has more or less the same goal upside. Less shot volume, less hit volume, but the power play totals and the fact that he can get you to that 120 point season, which we haven't seen Pasta do yet. He's normally around 110 points. They're very neck and neck for me. Him, Kucherov, and Draisaitl are all very neck and neck. But the fact that Draisaitl's dual eligible really, I think, sets him apart. So I really like the spot that I'm in right now and the players that I'm seeing. Damn. Okay, in a 14-team league with the last pick, who am I going here? I'm going to do my best not to queue anybody so you guys can't. Damn, I wanted Brady. Okay, so I need upside and I need upside bad because there's not a lot available here. So, I think it's JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. And I'm just going to stack the two of them, which is probably what I do. And I just have this Vancouver stack, and I pray that they're the same team as they were last year. So in a 14-team league, pick 14, you're getting the latter half of the first round. I'm totally fine stacking those two. Was thinking Willie, was thinking going defenseman, because I think you're going to see a ton of D go now, which will be super annoying. But again, we want to look for value. And if a lot of D go, there's going to be a lot of forwards available. There's simply no shot I get Quinn Hughes to get the trio stack, unfortunately. No, don't worry about it, Wanimations. Will there ever be an FP meetup in Toronto? Maybe a Marlies game. Yeah, we could do something fun. We're all pretty close in Ontario. Aho seems to be falling. Yeah, I am. If any point I can get Sebastian Aho in that like Braden Point range, because I think they're very comparable in terms of. I think Point just probably has a little bit more point upside, no pun intended. But I love getting to Aho. Was pick 1 in the last draft, not Mike? Really? That was you, M? Man, you drafted almost identical to what Mike did. Like, if Mike was running that draft, I would have been like 100%. Like, that was a very, very similar draft to what Mike does. That's crazy. I was so convinced it was him because his name is Michael in Yahoo. Looks like you can take Dakota Joshua if you want the Canucks. Yeah, that's a good idea. Noah, let me go. Should I take him 3rd round or 4th? Bangers Cats, no blocks. Are you ranking Brady over high upside guys like Rantanen and Hughes and Kaprizov? Flop normally. If it's a Cats league, yes. If it's a categories league, yes. And then I try to get, again, another high point production player. But Brady's so good in Cats leagues that count hits. Just because of the shot volume, too. Like, it's insane. And I think he'll be around a point a game this year. Fingers crossed. So, unfortunately, this Curtis guy is auto-drafting. But he's taking the players that I don't want, so I'm fine with that. Rant is probably somebody I'd take before Brady, though. I agree with Noah. I'd probably take Rantanen just because he's so safe of a player. I would have taken Nietzsche's over Russ, did not notice. Yeah. We're pretty aligned on that end, but man, you drafted so similarly to what Mike does. Noah Dobson at 30. What is happening right now? Hold on. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I might be punting defenseman again, guys. This is insane. It's so hard in 14-team leagues, too. Who's even left at this point? Morrissey? We might just punt D. we might actually punt defenseman. I think Morrissey, Heiskanen, Dougie are probably, maybe Sergachev are only the D1s that I would take at this point. Or we could go 2 floor guys. How is Panarin over Hughes? Because Panarin usually plays the full season and he's normally always around 95 points. And Jack Hughes is normally injured and hasn't hit over 100 points yet in his career. And Panarin had 120 last year. So it's just, is he the Panarin from last year? Is he the Panarin before? Regardless, he's a safe 95-point player. Timmy at 36. Jeremiah, I swear I've seen you in more than one mock draft. I think you were in Mike's. That's what I did in your last mock. Matheson's your D1? Yeah, that's tough. In a 20-man league, have the 4th pick. I want Dry, but who would you pick? Draisaitl's fine at 4. You're good. Don't overthink it. Sebastian Aho. Like, this is insane. Okay, I honestly think we go Morrissey. I'm actually okay with that. So give me Morrissey. And is there anyone that shouldn't be here? Helly? Helly at 43. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Give me Helly at 43. Helly at 43 is ridiculous. I'm fine with taking a goalie this early. I was going to try and punt goalies as well, too. I was looking at him, Justin. I was looking at him. I think Morrissey's a little safer. Because I still think there's a possibility where Luke Hughes is the power play 1D. But, taking 2 Winnipeg guys, I don't mind. I'm not excited about them next year by any means, but Morrissey and Helly should both be very, very good. Otter, Meyer, Svetch. Okay, so apparently everyone else is now on Timo Meyer and Andrei Svechnikov, and they're going in like the 4th round. So that's good information to know. I'm obviously biased, but a lot of value on New Jersey players this season. Yep, I would agree. I gotta start keeping track of people's names. I swear I'm seeing guys that were in the previous draft. So apologies. Oh my god, dude. I have another. This is the worst. I hate waiting like 25 picks in between players. Like, you just get so sewered. Vasi at 51 is solid. So one thing to note with my team, I will also be targeting centers super late, which you get good value for because both Miller and Pedersen have right wing and left wing eligibility. So if you see me draft like 2 other forwards, or 2 other centers, I mean, like just know that is. And then the auto drafter takes 2 of the guys I wanted. Damn. 14 team is tough. Marshawn? Interesting. Not on him at all. I think he's starting to slow down a little bit. Does Byram and Buffalo hurt Owen Power's upside? Yes. I actually don't know if Owen Power will ever be a power play 1 defenseman. Simply because Dahlin's there. And I think Byram has more offensive upside, to be honest. How's the D looking? Honestly, not as bad as I thought. We might do something drastic. Oh, there's Zib. That's a great pick. Damn, I wanted Boldy. Oh, you guys are too smart. Who are the players to avoid this year? We'll be making a video on that, which is coming out next week. At the end of next week, we have elite players you need to avoid. So I'll be doing that video. So that look forward to that. We'll highlight some players that you should be avoiding. Chris Kreider will definitely be on that video. Just based off of his ADP. Skinner. Let's check out the draft board. How many D? So how many teams have taken 2D? 1, 2, 3. 3 out of the 14. So I'm assuming everybody here is more or less like Jeremiah's taking a defenseman right now. He goes Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Interesting. Interesting. How many teams are taking a goalie? Almost every team's taking a goalie. Peter hasn't. Jeremiah hasn't. Jordan hasn't. Kyle hasn't. And Curtis, who was the auto draft. For Hagee, that's fine. Bobrovsky, that's good if you need a goalie. Let's see. Who do I like? Sorokin. Do I take Brock Besser and just have a trio? I really don't want to do that, to be honest with you, because I just don't know if I like Besser in this spot. We're going to steal Vincent Trocheck with pick 70. What do we do after that, though, is the question. Do we go Mackenzie Weegar? Do we go Mort Seider? Mort Seider would probably be a solid pick there. Do I like anybody else over Seider? Morgan Riley, probably. Okay, so we took Trocheck. Do I go I probably need to go defenseman here. Markstrom to pair with Helly isn't a bad shout either. I think I would rather go D here, though. Just because it's a 14-team league, and I already have an elite goaltender that's getting me 60-plus starts. Kyle Connor or Jake Gensel is better. I think Connor... because of the shot volume. Let's see. That's a good question. I'm giving him, like, this year's an outlier for him. He's normally very safe when it comes to point totals. So 80 points, 30 goals. Normally is in like the high 30s range. 270 shots versus, let's see, over a point a game, roughly a point a game. Again, mid to late 30s in terms of goals. Slightly lower shot volume. Peripherals are roughly the same. I think it just depends on what you think Jake Gensel's going to be. Like if he's playing with Kucherov, then yeah. What's your ranking for Thompson, Bedard, Kyle Connor? I would say Connor's the safest, so probably put him first. And then Tage second, Bedard third. I think Tage can score 50 again. I do love Markstrom this year too. I took him in the last mock. Demko at 78. Markstrom then goes. Jarvis is gone. Besser went. It's like I say a name and somebody takes him. Watch. Let's try this. Let's try this for a second. Hold on. Yeah, I'm actually really high on Gustav Forsling this year. I think he's going to be a really, really good defenseman just because Ekblad is like injury prone. So he should be the power play 1D in Florida. So definitely going to target Gustav Forsling. Wierenski goes. Caulfield. Barzell, Wall. Jeek's a good pick at 86. DeBrincat, I was looking at him. That's evil. Speedo, it's the only way, man. I can't even pin players anymore. Would the Vegas tandem be good to target? Yes. You can get them pretty late. Braden, you can get them pretty late. Damn, I want to Slav. JC. Who am I looking to grab here? Let's go to the draft board. Drew Doughty for your third defenseman already? Yeah, that's fine. Love the Slav pick. Kochekov is your first goalie. If you think he's the starter, yeah. I still think Freddie's going to take some games from him. Round 7, I might be taking defenseman. Yeah. Yeah, probably a good time to do that. Wait, Exertion, you're Jeremiah. I keep forgetting. Views on Tippett this season? Love him. I think Michkov might take some of that top 6 away from him, but he should be fine. The problem is they have so many good right wingers. I think Tippett played left wing last year, though, at some points. But he's so good when it comes to, I can't even spell. When it comes to shot volume. Like 290 shots, 150 hits, 28 goals for a guy that you're getting in like the middle rounds of the draft. I still wish they would play him more. That's the only thing I'm scared about. Their power play is also terrible. In a 20-team Cats League, do you think it's better to get 2 D1 forward in the first 3 picks or 2 forwards, 1D? Depends on who's available, Mitch. I think, like, in a 20-team league, obviously having defensemen is going to be important. It depends on how many D you need. Hold on, my pick is up. Who are we taking? I mean, Batherson's right there. Bagel. Nietzsche's. Vince Dunn. I might go Vince Dunn again. Robert Thomas. I feel like we need some scoring upside still, so give me Robert Thomas. He should be around a point a game again. Damn, you guys snagged all of the good forwards. I'm good with Batherson again, actually. So I now have 2 solidified centers in Trocheck, Thomas. Trocheck, Thomas. Then I got Miller, Pedersen, Batherson in my winger spots. Always done 2 forwards, 1D, then goalie. Yeah, I think it's just always better in like these crazy deep leagues to have solid defensemen. Nobody took my bait on Forsling, eh? Damn. I love the Heischer pick. I was looking at him too. I think I like Thomas a little bit more. Just because Heischer normally misses around like 10 games. Kemper's a solid pick. Yeah, was there any goalies that was... Kyrou? No, not really. Still some good guys late. Hey, no problem, Mitch. Happy to help. Guys, again, if you're in the stream, please hit that like button. It really, really helps us. There's 92 of you. There's 53 likes. It takes 2 seconds. We put a lot of time and effort into these streams so that we can give you guys some good reps, give you guys some good takes. So again, it really, really helps us out if you guys can hit the like button. What are we thinking here, guys? There goes Dunn, Tuck, Nietzsche's. I definitely feel like I'm on track with going with another defenseman. Appreciate you, Colin. Thank you for liking the stream, brother. In a keeper league where I have to decide between keeping Stützle or Stamkos, only root for one. I really want to keep Stützle, but a sense team scares the crap out of me. Don't let the bad team fallacy scare you. Living legend, I'm taking Timmy over Stammer. It's very possible Stammer takes a step back just with how many mouths there are to feed in Nashville. Normally, I wouldn't be as concerned, but the fact that there's 3 high-volume right-handed shots, whereas Timmy is the number 1 guy in Ottawa. What am I saying? Sorry, Timmy's the number 2 guy. Brady Tkachuk is my GOAT. Thoughts on Lozone, draft worthy? I think if you count hits in your leagues. He had a boatload last year. 14 points. 100 shots. Yeah, you basically need to count hits and blocks in your league for him to be viable. What if you do? He's worth a late round pick for sure. Okay, what are we thinking? We've handcuffed ourselves a little bit at center. I'm noticing there are some really good centers available still. There's still some solid goalies available as well. I'm probably leaning defenseman. Lehkonen. Suzuki, yep, he was one of them. Kane. Oh, we're going to get to some deep players. I'm excited. Get to show you guys my bag. Patty Kane was a good pick there. I was looking at him. Ekholm. I don't understand the Ekholm picks. I've been seeing a lot of them. What is your take on Wallstead? He's blocked still, unfortunately. I would have been so on him this year if they finally moved on from Fleury, but it doesn't look like that's happened. So unless him or Gustafsson gets either moved or traded, he's stuck. What some late do you like? I do like Theodore Skate. The problem is that he's never seemingly healthy. But when he is healthy, he's fantastic. Chris Letang is really good too. We kind of talked about him in the group chat earlier. Very good peripherals still. Can get you 40 points. Solid. Again, you want to continue to target power play D as much as possible, like Ghost. Ghost is another really good one. Lane Hudson on Montreal. I'll show you guys some deep defensemen. I'm normally always like upside based when it comes to late players, but we're coming up here for our pick. So in the situation, I think I could look at goalies. I like Olmark because I know he's going to get a ton of starts. Not sure there's anybody else that I would really feel super comfortable in taking. UPL is there. So I think Ottawa should be better than Buffalo. And we probably need to take a defenseman. Because there's a lot of good forward value later on. And in this case, probably Letang or Chabot. Let me go with Ghost this time, actually. He's like sneaky, like a 50, 55 plus point defenseman. He should be power play 1 in Carolina. So give me Ghost. I was thinking Harley there as well. I don't like Hronik. I don't like Shea. Don't like Walker. Don't like Nurse. Don't like Petro. Byram, yeah. Chikrin, yeah. Chabot. Is there anybody else deep here? Like Falk's a good shout. Luke or Binner? I want to say St. Louis is going to win more than Buffalo. Probably Binner. I just think Hofer might cut into his... Starts a little bit. He played 30 last year, which is crazy. 15 wins. Yeah. Probably UPL. 55 starts still, though, for Binner with 28 wins. Yeah, probably Binnington. I changed my mind. All right, let's look for forwards. Who do you like? Victor Arvidsson, Buchnevich, DeBrusk, I really like this year. Jared McCann, Patty Lyles, Quentin Byfield, Paterka. Trevor Moore had 31 goals last year? Absolutely. Matt Duchene is sneaky. Nyquist is sneaky. The shot volume really concerns me. I like Cousins. Velarde, somebody that we've talked about a lot already on the channel and through drafts. Dylan Gunther's a really nice sleeper pick. You'll probably see a lot of him on the channel this year as well. Dawson Mercer could be like the sneakiest of sneaky picks. Yeah, I agree, Wicked. I'm taking Theodore as like my D3-4. Eric Gus late this year? Yeah, he's gonna be great, Braden. Ghost, Falk, York is my deep D. Yep. Category Keepers League, are you keeping Sider or Theodore? Sider, absolutely. Logan Thompson has to be the starter, right? Lindgren played very good last year, so I don't know. I think they split. but I think Lindgren is the starter, or at least gets the first nod. What's up, Bruno? How are you, brother? Dude, I know you're gonna be hunting these drafts, dude. But it's good. It's good. It gets you in the habit of like thinking about these deep round players. And you watch our content, right? So you'll have a good idea for upcoming. I just need to like gatekeep all of the ones I actually want. Cider for multiple reasons, yeah. Yeah, dude, everyone I pinned is going. Lion Velarde. There's still some solid D available, which I'm surprised. I guess everyone's punted defenseman, eh? Oh, no, they're still going. Yeah, Falk there is really good. I like that a lot, James. Like round 11. My league goes to pick 280. Crumbs left there. Yeah, you're really just like handcuffed with taking upside guys at that point. Like you're better off streaming players throughout the league, likely. All right, we're on the clock. We need some forwards. Who is available? Give me Peterka. Oh, I know who I'm taking. I'm going purely upside right now. Matt, appreciate the 10, brother. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for the 10. Chris Wicked. I started like trying to get people to draft Forsling like 3 rounds before I wanted him. I just started hyping him up. Give me Peterka. How do I feel about McCann? I think I like McCann. I think I like McCann better. How do I feel about that, actually? 62 points, 30 goals? Yeah. Yeah, love that. Center left wing eligibility? Yeah. Yeah. I've been streaming for how long? Just under 2 hours. Guys, again, if you want to leave a like on the stream, really, really helps us out. Bruno, thank you again for the $10 donation. Appreciate you. I will buy you a beer next time I see you. Yeah, I'm probably fine with McCann there. I was thinking about somebody else, but I like it. Toffoli. Somebody asked me about Toffoli recently. Told him I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think he could be sneaky good, though. Because he's going to play a lot. His shot volume is normally really good. I just don't know if he's going to put up 30 in San Jose. But I mean, they do have a lot of talent coming in with Celebrini, Will Smith. Who else is on that team? Am I targeting anybody from San Jose this year? Will Smith, Celebrini, maybe? How did Eklund do? He's been on my radar for a little bit. 45. Ooh. Ah, the shot volume. Damn. You had me in the first half. Played 18 minutes last year, though. Yeah, he needs to shoot the puck more for him to be actually relevant, but 72 blocks. All right, let's go back to the draft board. Do I want Willie, Matt? What is it going to cost? Is Huberto just irrelevant now? No, I don't think so. Where is Neighbors ranked? He's around this ADP. I saw him earlier. Like ADP 120, I want to say. I think someone might have grabbed him. There goes all the guys that I pinned, though. DeBrusque, Duchesne, Trevor Moore. Teravainen is a sneaky good pick. I love that, actually. I think if he plays with Bedard, he could get 60 points easily. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's sneaky. I really like him as a deep league sleeper. The peripherals aren't there. The shot volume's not there. But if you need somebody late that can get you points, Teravainen's not a bad option by any means. Little injury concern there, but dude, Eric, stop taking my guys, brother. Jack Quinn's gonna go nuclear this year. Owen Power, Dylan Cousins was another guy I had pinned. ADP 170. Damn, really that late, eh? If Wallman gets power play 1, I'm throwing a deep round pick on him, sure. Yeah. If Wallman gets PP1, I'm going to throw a brick through my window and wonder why Sider isn't up there. Which is going to upset me if I see Wallman PP1 and not Sider. Joey Decord. I have Helly and Omark. My goaltending is pretty safe. Still probably need another winger, but again, I'm picking bench players now. I need defensemen. So let's look. Like Mintikov. Lushnov might be interesting. Orchinsky. I don't know if Hampus Lindholm got power play one time last year in Boston. I can't remember. He's normally not a big point totals player. Gudis this late honestly isn't bad just because he gets you so many hits. Let's see if I can find him. Give me Lane. Braden, you're reading my mind, brother. His first name's spelled weird. It's Brant. Brant Clark, my boy. And that'll fill out my defenseman. So I took 2 pretty much high upside punt players there. And we need to finish things off with a winger. So let me go deep into my bag. I mean, if Macklin's here this late, why not, right? Let me look. Perron, I want nothing to do with. Oh, Neighbors is ADP 170. I don't know if he's actually going to score 27 goals again. But I know he's a good hit guy. He shot 20%, 18. Yeah, so that's probably a little bit of an outlier, but could be in for a nice little breakout if he gets more time on ice. He's somebody that will be on the radar in terms of camp. Because if he's playing on this line, absolutely. Matt with the $50 donation. Bruno, what are you doing, brother? Man, that's way too generous. Thank you so much, man. Guys, can I get a Bruno spam in the chat? Just type Bruno. $50 is insane. Everyone just type Bruno in the chat. Give him a little heart. That's crazy. Appreciate you so much, brother. Korchinski may start in the AHL. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, shout out to Bruno, guys. That's huge. That's insane. Just give a nice little Bruno with a heart there. Damn. Appreciate you, man. You didn't have to do that. I just hope you know that, but thank you so much for the support as always. All right, let's get back to the draft here. It's gonna be so hard assessing these teams. We're gonna be at like pick 220 in a second. That's crazy. Giroux, can this guy play hockey anymore? 64 points. Low shot volume. Actually, 180 shots isn't terrible. He did take a bit of a step back. He did shoot 11%. Not really great on the peripherals. Is there anyone here that I feel like I'm missing? Lawson Krause. Bray, I think we're done after this, brother. I've been at it for 2 hours. I did a 12 team and now 14 team. Oh, give me him. Let's see. Anyone else? Anyone else that comes to mind here? He's going undrafted? Okay. Is that just a name value thing is why I'm so surprised? Like, statistically, he's not a good pick, but he's literally going undrafted. Biggest sleeper this year. Damn. Who do I like? Who do I really like? Jack Quinn. Like Jack Quinn a lot. Him, Paterka, Dylan Gunther, Lane Hudson. All these late round guys. There's players that are going undrafted that shouldn't be going undrafted. Jake Neighbors is, again, solid as well, too. Yeah, we're taking 2 players here. Pierre-Luc Dubois could be actually half decent. How do I feel about Olofsson? Don't like him at all. Boone Jenner, is he available? He would be really good in this range. I think he's gone. Yeah, someone got him. As a Flames fan, it's definitely name value. It's not just his production. His play away from the puck does not support play drive. Yeah. He definitely needs, like, he also needs a shooter to play with him, James, I think. Hey, Logan Thompson, somebody actually took Huberdeau, Nathan. You're just hunting the stream, I guess. Tyler Seguin should have been drafted by now. I'm going to take him. Let's just quickly look at his stats. Actually, I'll go after. I'll do it after my next pick. Jake Neighbors, again, solid sleeper pick. Dubois is there. Sharon Govich as well, scored 30 last year. Logan Stankoven is another one I really like. But we're going to go Jake Neighbors just because he has a chance to play on the first line there. But let's look at Tyler Seguin because there's no way that guy should be going this late. 52 points in 68 games with 25 goals. Hasn't really been healthy over the last couple of years, but I'll take a guy that's roughly around a point a game that should be over 200 shots if he plays the full season. 61 hits as well. Should, again, be power play 1. He was actually bad on the power play last year. Only 8 power play points. Yeah, I think that late. I think this late, that's pretty fine. Dual eligible as well. Let's quickly go over teams. I'll probably go through the first 4 rounds. I don't think I'm going to go too excessively in detail here just because it's a really, really deep draft. Curtis was the auto drafter as well, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, the first 2 rounds are pretty standard. I went the Miller-Patterson stack, which I really actually liked that I did. Yossi Brady is a really good start. Kachuk Bouchard, Hughes Willie, Panarin Hughes, Makar Marner, Kaprizov J-Rob's a really good start. I like that. Brandon Dahlin's pretty solid. This is going to keep dragging it down. I'm just going to wait for you guys to finish and then I'll look at everything. So we got PP1. It could be Nathan. He's, again, like that's another like training camp shout that we're going to have to keep an eye on. But very, very good value if he ends up being there. You can definitely get him in like the last pick of your draft. Cole Perfetti is another good sleeper. Kaloran, I'm not a fan of. Kendra Miller could be solid. Oh, you took Zellweger. Pinto. Josh Norris as well. This guy took Varlamov. Okay. Yeah, that's the auto draft. So we're going to try to do our best to ignore him. But James went... Oh. No, let's go back in. Apologies. James went McKinnon. I don't like Reinhardt in the second round. Guys I'm taking before Reinhardt. Stutzlo. Gensel. Tage. Aho. Barkov. Yeah. I just think he reminds me of Nuge from last year. 24% shooting percentage. Very touchy subs. Every someone has to move on to PP1 in Columbus. Who do you think takes it? It's all right, man. It is what it is at this point. I love the Daily Faceoff just did this actually. Rest in peace to both the Goudreaus. Just so sickening. Let's take a look. I don't have Wikipedia up. Teams. Columbus. Power play 1 is probably Boone, Marchenko, Igor Chinnikov, Ken Johnson. Ken Johnson could be sneaky as well. They just signed him. Fantilli. Tilly will be there, but like on that power play 1. Probably Fantilli, Marchenko, Jenner, Ken Johnson. Probably Ken Johnson. Could be another sleeper, actually. But yeah, back to Reinhardt. Again, I think he's more like around a point a game with 30 to 35 goals. For him to go from 33 goals to being his career high to then 57 is insane. Shot volume's also kind of on the lower end. And his peripherals aren't terrible, but they're not great. But 27 power play goals, 7 power play assists. It's just ludicrous. Like, he's going to drop. So, not a huge fan of him. At least in the second round. Like, I'd probably even take Crosby before him. Struggling to take defenseman Jordan. Which one were you? Oh, I'm assuming you're Jordan. Okay, Makar at 1, you're fine. You started with Makar, which is great, especially at the 109. Marner, Gensel, Bratt is a pretty solid 4 rounds. I'd probably take Ovi before Bratt. I'd probably take Zib before Bratt. I'd probably take Wyatt before Bratt. Just guys that have a little bit more goal scoring upside. You could have also taken a defenseman here. Like, I wouldn't have been mad if you took Dougie. Verhaeghe's good at that 5th round spot. He's been falling. He's solid. Montour, again, hit or miss. Lindholm, love that pick. Kemper's solid. You didn't really go 0G if you're drafting a goalie in the 8th round. Ekblad, solid. Horvat, yeah, that's good. Harley, solid. DeBrusque, I like it. Ingram, Jenner, Drouin, could be sneaky pick. Nyquist should have a really good time passing to all of those shooters. I think your team's solid. Dre. Skate, your team Dre. Oh, okay. Matthews at the 3 is great. Getting Matthews to start off your draft is always solid. I don't like Dobson before Hedman or Fox or Morrissey. Until he does it again, I don't feel comfortable taking him before a Hedman, before a Fox, before a Morrissey. He had a good year, but again, risk. Georgiev. I'm taking Skinner probably before Georgiev. I think Edmonton's going to be better. I think Colorado is kind of in a tough spot with Nichushkin being out. So I probably take Skinner or Bob or Markstrom or Demko, assuming Demko's healthy. McAvoy is your D2. I probably want Sergachev. I probably want Seider. I probably want Uyghur before. Probably not Uyghur, but unless he's the power play 1D, in which case you can make an argument. Love the Caulfield pick. Love the DeBrincat pick. I think I want Slav over DeBrincat. I can't believe I just said that. Yeah. Yeah. The shot volume. Okay, no. You know what? You're right. I'm DeBrincat over Slav. I'm fine with that. That's okay. Macy, I think we're done after this. I'm just reviewing teams. I've been at it for 2 hours, brother. I'm going to go eat something after. I wish there was a way... Is it going to kick me? It might kick me from this after the 4 minute. I'll just try and speedrun it. Theodore's solid that late. Marchessault's great that late. Love the UPL pick. Zook's fine there. Timor, Teravainen, Jamie Benn, sneaky. Norris went early, actually. Interesting. Jari, you can get super late too, which is fine. I definitely don't want to touch any Pittsburgh players, though. But in terms of a starting goaltender... Sure, you need another goalie. You already have 2 starting goalies at that point, so I wouldn't even bother with Jari. And K'Andre Miller could be interesting. Not sure about him, but we'll see. We can do Eric. Eric, we can do real quick. Pasta at the 4. Yeah, him and Dry are pretty much a coin flip. I think I prefer Draisaitl, though. Just slightly over him. Higher ceiling. In terms of points. Can score 50. Gets you a ton of power play points. But again, it's a coin flip. It's not a bad pick taking Pastor, especially because he's right wing, but Dry's dual eligible. Kyle Connor. I think I'd prefer Point. Point's much... A, he's much safer. B, he's got a higher ceiling. C, the same goal upside. D, the power play point total. Kyle Connor really only outclasses Point in shot volume. But Point has been consistently over 90 points and consistently over 40 goals. Very, very good on the power play. So I prefer Point over Connor there. Saros. So you haven't taken a defenseman. The goalie 2 off the board I still think should be Helly. But I don't mind if you think Nationals are going to be gross. Like, if you're like, oh, yeah, like, Nationals are going to be a top 5 team next year, then I don't mind it. If you're like, yeah, Saros, 100%, I'm for it. I won't argue with that. Getting Wyatt there is really good. He was somebody that I was targeting. Unfortunately, I decided to go Helly, which I was looking at, like, yeah, he's available in pick 40. I'm gonna take him. Wyatt into Zib is very good. Werenski, Montour, Riley, Uyghur, Seider are all gone at that point. You found a really sneaky spot to take the defenseman, which I like. I like Werenski when he's healthy. JC should be solid again. Yeah, I'd probably take him before Doughty and Faber. And then you get Jake Sanderson, And you're suddenly in a really, really good spot with 3 power play, 1 defenseman. Well, 2.5. We don't know what's going to happen with Sanderson. Skinner, I don't like. I'd go Lehkonen, Kane before him. Hill, Samsonov as the tandem. That's fine. Don't like Lauzon. Pick a D with upside. Love Jack Quinn. Love Norris. Love Cam York in that spot. Love Perfetti. I'm speed running Jeremiah. Kaprizov, J-Rob, Timmy is an ideal first 3 rounds. Your only issue is you haven't got a defenseman yet. I'm probably taking a D instead of Stamkos here. I don't really like any of the D in that range, actually. Dougie, maybe, if you think he's going to be the PP1. I hate the Nuge pick. Why are you taking Nuge here? Pick somebody like Verhaeghe that has some goal upside. Take Clayton Keller. I'm taking Keller over Nuge every single time. I'm taking Fiala over Nuge every single time. You've kind of handcuffed yourself at center. I think Stammer's dual eligible. He is, okay. Timmy's also... Never mind. You're good. You're in a good spot. Don't like the Nuge pick. Jarvis, yes. Faber, yes. Hughes, yes. Ekholm, no. I tried. I did my best. I don't understand the Nuge pick. You'll have to walk me through that one. But again, if you guys are still watching, thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. Again, shout out to Bruno for the $50 donation. That's literally insane. Absolutely crazy. If you guys are still in here, be sure to drop a like. We're going to be doing a lot more mock drafts in the future. I want to try to do a little bit more offline stuff too, so I can get more in depth about like pick decisions. So I'm going to try and do that going forward. But thank you guys so much for chilling. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Lots of good content coming soon. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Again, shout out Bruno for the $50 donation. Love you, Bruno. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I will